So he obviously got that little bit of a break that he needed, because it's very demanding to be a manager, and never mind a manager at one of the biggest clubs in the world. And you know, he'll be looking to make changes and put his stamp back onto the team again, starting today.
Well, the teams are all set for this prestigious pre-season friendly at the Allianz Arena. We'll have live coverage of Tottenham Hotspur against Real Madrid after the break.
Why can't Real Madrid give me a free transfer? The 13 times European champions have recently been rated by Forbes as the most valuable football team in the world. It's Tottenham Hotspur, though, who most eyes will be focused on, and on new signing Tanguy Ndombele, who was Tottenham Hotspur's sole summer signing, if you factor in the fact that Jack Clarke has gone back to Leeds United on loan for the season. Hugo Lloris has missed most of the Asia tour with tonsillitis, but he is back in the squad for this tournament. But Paolo Gazzaniga retains his place in goal. Danny Rose is back at left back, and he will have to contend with the likes of new signing Hazard, Lucas Vazquez and Rodrigo, the young 18-year-old who comes into the squad this summer. A huge outlay from Santos of £40 million. Certainly the chequebook has been well and truly out this summer at the Bernabeu. Well over £250 million has been spent by Real Madrid. That is heavyweight spending, but arguably, Terry Gribson, only Eden Hazard is now on first 11 material, and reports this morning suggest he's got some fitness work to do.
Yep, no, I mean, it's, understandably, suggestions are that he has come back, returned to Real Madrid and joins Real Madrid, slightly out-conditioned, slightly overweight. But I'm sure that will be resolved before the first La Liga game of the season. But both teams extremely strong in this lineup. Hazard, I think, you're right, will be the only regular starter with the new players that have joined Real Madrid.
And that's a poor back pass from Vertonghen, and very quickly Gazzaniga is called into action. He dealt with it well, and Spurs trying to spark a quick counter-attack. Something that Real Madrid will be wary of after conceding inside 50 seconds of their game in New Jersey at the weekend against city rivals Atletico.
You can see here Vertonghen under pressure from Lucas Vazquez. The back pass is severely under hit. Gazzaniga does well to deny Karim Benzema, and then Tottenham moves sharply upfield then.
Tottenham turn the ball over. Here is Son trying to take on Carvajal. Didn't have enough skill to take it away from him. Carvajal managed to get it round the corner, where it's picked up by Vazquez. Tottenham again coming forward. This is Christian Eriksen. And he's had his suitors too over the course of the last few months. He himself said he might well fancy something different soon enough.
He's occupying a similar position for Tottenham today as Eden Hazard is doing for Real Madrid, the support striker. Eriksen, though, he's dropping deeper into midfield to help out alongside Ndombele and Harry Winks. But yeah, that was, if I've ever seen a pre-season first touch, that was that from Eriksen. I think when he's up to speed, that would have been a better first touch and an attempt on goal.
Eriksen's delivery into the box reaches Son. Only half cleared by Real Madrid. That's not great from Lucas Vazquez, who was attempting to clear. Rodrigo trying to break. Toby Alderweireld is there to tidy up.
Look sharper as well at the moment, Tottenham, don't they? When they're out of possession, they're working faster, sharper to win the ball back.
Here's Christian Eriksen again, his first start in pre-season after a minor injury. Opportunity to strike from distance from Ndombele. Benzema. Toni Kroos from distance. Took a deflection on the way through. It's away for the first Real Madrid corner of the game.
It's ambitious from Toni Kroos, a bit late again, backing up the play from midfield. In hand for the little knockback from distance there, takes on the attempt.
And he was being linked with a part exchange deal with Giovanni Lo Celso. Good touch after Ndombele's pass onto Rose. Son waiting, took a deflection off Varane, only half cleared eventually, it might have gone behind for a corner. Keylor Navas had to come to Real Madrid's rescue.
So he did. It was fantastic football from Tottenham Hotspur to get him behind the full-back. Lamela does well, receives the ball, beats Modric, feeds it out wide to Danny Rose, who's looking to cut it back, and of course Son in and around the action at the near post.
Tottenham have looked the more likely in the opening 18.5 minutes of the game. Eriksen looking for Kane, headed away by Ramos. Kane wants it back again. Harry Winks finds him. Eriksen, Son lurking. Comes back to Lamela, blocked by Navas. And Real Madrid scramble it clear. Still the pressure continues. Ndombele. Oh, that would have been a scorcher. It was a good reaction save from Keylor Navas.
There's plenty of power, and I trust the ball is moving about as well. The attempt from Ndombele. Piece of action from Tottenham Hotspur, though. 2 or 3 attempts.
Eriksen looking to get in behind, offside flag is up.
It's Son who's the player that's responsible for holding the wide attacking position. It's a very movable front three behind Harry Kane. Son, Eriksen, Lamela, all able to swap positions. Pre-season is an opportunity for...
Well, Harry Kane has got an opportunity here, and he's gone past the goalkeeper and scored as Harry Kane more than often does. Hazard in midfield, Marcelo not sure enough with his touch. Harry Kane certainly was, and Tottenham have the lead.
I was just going to make the point, it's important pre-season for the managers to look at their options. This is one option that Pochettino doesn't have to look anywhere else for. Who's going to score the goals for Spurs this season? Here's the mistake. Marcelo tries to keep it in. It's a heavy touch over the head of Ramos. And from there on, it's just a question of would Harry Kane choose the right finish to slot it past Keylor Navas, who does everything he can to provide the block at the near post. And Kane just slides it slightly underneath him. Of course, he's not going to panic in any situation like this. As you made the point at the start of the game, Hazard is probably the only one that's guaranteed to start at the moment. So in fact, they're losing a heavy to Atletico, going 2-0 down against Arsenal. And now conceding the first goal of the game against Tottenham Hotspur does put the pressure on Zidane.
Here's Kane again, and it's stopped this time rather routinely by Keylor Navas. Again, Tottenham quicker and sharper.
Lovely little inside pass from Eriksen into the path of Harry Kane, who gets a yard away from Ramos.
That's a decent ball whipped round the corner by Hazard onto Modric, and Benzema is arriving. It was not far away at all from Karim Benzema.
He's not hoping for a corner here. He's hoping that there's an excuse for him missing from this distance. He's under pressure from Foyt, but he should score. I think Modric wasn't slow in telling him so.
Lamela. Kane was offside. Didn't score as many as he would have liked last season, Harry Kane.
Just see there, he just drifts into the offside position. It's Zidane, despite what he's done as player and manager, will still be under pressure.
Vasquez trying to find Benzema. Hazard just tickling the ball down the right side, trying to find Lucas Vasquez. Zidane did win 9 trophies in his first spell. Lamela seemingly taking on all comers. And there's space for Harry Kane. And he's found him. It's Harry Kane. It's almost 2-0 Spurs. And there is just a little bit more zip about the Premier League side in the opening half an hour. Picked up a problem.
See Lamela afforded so much time there to get his head up, to pick out the pass to Harry Kane. Varane should have intercepted it.
That's the biggest issue, isn't it? The lack of intensity, the lack of closing down, the lack of drive and desire to get in front of the marker, the man, the player that's closest to you. Modric. Marcelo. Did that hit an arm? You never know nowadays whether that's going to be a penalty or not. Certainly Harry Winks was pleading his innocence. It wasn't the innocent party there. Kroos. Benzema. Hazard. Vasquez waiting for the cross. A little bit pedestrian from Real Madrid. Overplaying slightly.
So Real Madrid a degree more possession.
It's humid, 26 degrees. Expect maybe a couple of thunderstorms as the night progresses. That will sap a bit of energy as well. So will this man when he's on 4-4. Sap anyone's energy. Hazard out towards the right, finding Benzema. It's Benzema! And it was a thunderous drive from Real Madrid's top scorer last campaign.
I thought the initial chance again was going to go the way of Eden Hazard. That type of run we've seen him perform so often, but this time he elects to play the ball out wide, and it's then left down to Benzema to cut inside on his left foot, drive it towards goal. It's out of the reach of Gazzaniga, but it goes over. Considerably stronger, certainly more experienced. The second half team we might see from Real Madrid.
Here's Harry Kane. Oh, that took a rather powerful deflection. He's gone behind and away for another corner. A real cruncher on the edge of the box.
Yep, good first touch from Lamela. Drops his shoulder, gets the ball away. You can see he's upended there by Marcelo.
In the Premier League next season, that's going to be a penalty. VAR would have had a look at that.
Eventual shot from Harry Kane is blocked. Not too many protests from the Spurs. There should have been.
He's a character. Christian Eriksen just taking a short corner with 2 minutes to go before half-time. Pele's effort, that's Vertonghen trying to steer it in.
It's classic Real Madrid, isn't it? Toni Kroos, the player responsible for picking up Jan Vertonghen at the far post. One of the bigger threats for Tottenham Hotspur when it comes to attacking set pieces, and it's the Real Madrid's German midfield player who's fortunate to get away with that.
No changes. Dele Alli has come on in this second half. Something you'd expect, I guess, with 2 games in 2 days.
He could be a really key player. Now that it depends on what he does this season, obviously, because it could be important, especially if Eriksen is leaving. He's going to have his best position on the pitch to.
The last time that these two met 20 months ago, Spurs were undefeated in the Champions League group stage.
For one reason or another, but here in Munich, in Germany, you would call the second string. He's young, not experienced, not established, and pretty inferior to the setup that started the game.
You can see the team scrolling at the bottom.
Allowed to be on target.
And the 18 will have a skip. Modric to Marcelo, sizing one up. Hugo Lloris, who himself has been under the weather a little bit.
The senior team.
Well, 1 or 2 sniffing around the possibility of taking him on loan this season. This is Kroos. This Real Madrid attack has come about because of a bit of sloppy defending by Tottenham Hotspur. That wasn't particularly tidy either. It's a yellow card for Anthony Georgiou.
It certainly doesn't hold back there, does he? It's a reckless challenge. Vasquez with the control. Thunders into the Real Madrid winger. Lack of control, lack of Control defensively from young Anthony Georgiou.
Rodrigo. Marcelo on the overlap. There's options in the centre here. One of them is Eden Hazard. Here's a good block. Really good block from Tanganga. Hazard again. Tony Kroos. Wild.
Brilliant defending. We saw earlier from Oliver Skipp. Now the youngster Tanganga as well to deny in Hazard. Gets out there. Hazard clearly should do better. We know he's capable of better there. He's working really hard to get the ball under control, and it gets stuck between his legs.
By Ali. Picked up by Son. Still going, Son. It's a flying save which was required from Keylor Navas. It was a belting effort from the South Korean. Tottenham so close to making it 2-0.
It's a fantastic effort with his left foot. Has to work really hard. Shows good skill. Lots of close touches to get it away from Luka Modric in particular. He fires it away. Tournaments that we're all glad to watch, excited to watch new players lining up for their new clubs, but coaches have to get the hard work in as well.
Ali breaking from deep onto Harry Kane. Almost spilt by Navas into the path of Kane again, who's done well to try and win it back. Still a little bit scrappy from Real Madrid as they attempt to clear. It's a little bit played now. Benzema trying to get Real Madrid on level terms. Finds Hazard. Couldn't squeeze it back to Lucas Vazquez, who... Now Oliver Skipp again. Lucas Moura has spotted the run of Dele Alli. Oh, it would have been beautiful. Good save by Keylor Navas. Excellent work by Tottenham Hotspur. Kane's not finished yet. Moran just pinches it at the vital moment. Rodrigo. Funneling back into position. Benzema on the charge. Here is carrying Benzema. He couldn't get beyond Tanganga.
Again, the Spurs defenders getting back really quickly. Excellent chance and good skillful play from Dele Alli. The movement, the understanding between Lucas Moura and Dele Alli. Technique was excellent. Dele Alli is unlucky. Again, it's another fine save from Keylor Navas. Technique is the side-foot finish. He's trying to get it back across goal.
And come Real Madrid with Benzema looking to get on the end of a cross-field ball. Lucas Moura is tucked back by Sergio Ramos. Well, it wouldn't be a Real Madrid football match without a Sergio Ramos booking, would it?
It's kind of tough on him, actually, because he has been quiet. He's been on his best behaviour today. I can't remember another foul given away by Sergio Ramos. I guess the nature of that foul, where it was an obvious one.
That might just highlight just how lacking in intensity Real Madrid have been. A couple of changes for the 13-time European champions. Tony Kroos coming off and Federico Valverde coming on. And the player who was involved in the matchday squad with Real Madrid last season 38 times. And some more Spurs youngsters coming into the fray. Troy Parrott, who has been much trumpeted over the last couple of weeks, replaces Harry Kane just half after a mistake by Marcelo. And Troy Parrott comes on to replace him. Impressive displays against both Juventus and Manchester United. Some fine touches. Nacho and Lucas Vazquez, who have been on the fringes of the first team at Real Madrid for quite some while now, have been those ones that are coming through. Have got to be regarded as elder statesmen now at 29 and 28. Here is Dele Alli. Brilliant control. Couldn't find the finish. He thought that the reason he couldn't find the finish...
See Kubo Takefusa with a diagonal pass Outstanding chest control. No, Carvajal gets across there. He does get enough of the ball to...
In Edison between their sticks. Here's Vinicius Junior, who I don't think has completed a cross yet from that left-hand side. Marcelo, he might. He does. But the offside flag is up against Rodrigo.
The appeals were there straight away by Spurs. They're trying to hold it. It's a good defensive line. You can see he does just go a shade too early from the cross from Marcelo. Benzema.
As is the Santiago Bernabeu, which is about to be redeveloped and remodelled, and that looks pretty impressive too. And Real Madrid taking this opportunity to remodel their team as well. A few changes, including Alvaro Odriozola. Usually plays at right back. Marcelo coming off to some fanfare. Mariano Diaz is there. So Ioane. And Hazard's work is done for the day. Isco coming on to replace him. What do you think of Hazard's 80 minutes?
I think you can sense by the way I'm deliberating on, it hasn't been a brilliant 80 minutes from Eden Hazard. He's getting used to playing with different players and spent a long time at Chelsea. But so much is expected of him. You know, they're so pleased, the Real Madrid supporters, to have what they consider to be a genuine Galactico. James Rodriguez was the last one, and that was back in 2014. So for them to go all out, bringing Eden Hazard, the pressure is on, expectations are high. So it's probably unfair to judge him too early, but I think it's fair to say there's better to come from Eden Hazard.
Mariano Diaz squeezing the ball into the path of Takefusa Kubo, who has also come on. Certainly,
Dele Alli, who's only 23 still.
Certainly the Irish are very excited about the progress of Parrott as well. Here's Nkudu running towards the Real Madrid penalty area. Thwarted in his attempts to go any further by Ioane.
There could have been a number of transfers that Dele Alli made from when he left Milton Keynes, where he wouldn't have got anywhere near the amount of football that he's got by the age of 23.
I was a little bit disappointed with his performance against Manchester United recently, and I don't think last season was a vintage Dele Alli season. He'll be wanting to kick on, but I suppose at 23, as you say, there will be ups and downs. Here's Kubo with an effort from distance. Wasn't a bad one either.
They're going to have some under 18, under 19 team Real Madrid next season, aren't they? Kubo, Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo, all teenagers. Brahim Diaz is another young player who's not involved today, that they signed for big money from Manchester City.
Crashed by Atletico, now on the verge of being beaten by Tottenham. Unless... Well, Kubo was certainly lurking. And he had an eye for goal.
Youngsters have freshened things up for Real Madrid. Vinicius with a cross in, Mariano Diaz competing. Defensive header from Tottenham Hotspur just reaches the edge of the penalty area, and Kubo probably should be doing better. Not saying he should have scored, but he certainly should be hitting the target from that range.
Here comes Spurs at the other end, and they hit the post right side. The young Japanese starlet has got it now. Kubo again. Odriozola is up in almost a right wing position. Kubo's managed to get away and thundered the ball into the face of the Tottenham defender, Tanganga.
That's a big call from the referee. Pre-season friendly, I get it. Crashes into the head of Tanganga, who doesn't flinch, tries to make sure that he blocks the attempt from Kubo, which he does take it full on the head. Real Madrid still had possession. Turns his head to the side, doesn't fully turn his back. Good defending from the Spurs centre-back.
This is the Spurs chance.
Troy Parrott, so unlucky. And Sergio Ramos still out there. The veteran Real Madrid defender doesn't get to Troy Parrott quick enough, and there's no chance of Keylor Navas getting anywhere near making the save. And Spurs and youngster 17-year-old Troy Parrott so unlucky to see it come off the inside of the post and back to Keylor Navas.
Well, he set up Lamela for the first goal of the Asia Tour. He was flagged offside when he shouldn't have been for a goal against Juve. I think he's one of the winners from pre-season so far, Troy Parrott. And he was incredibly unfortunate not to be on the score sheet against Real Madrid. It was an alternative way of taking a goal kick from Tottenham Hotspur, long up the field, flicked on by Ali, feeding in Kudo, and then there was Parrott.
As we say, you know, we talk about young players, but at 17, the Real Madrid supporters, even the press in Spain, are reasonable enough to know that if it does finish 1-0 to Tottenham Hotspur, a team that were in the Champions League final last season, that different stage of the pre-season, it's not embarrassment like they faced against Atletico.
Well, Tottenham beat Real Madrid to qualify for the Audi Cup final. It certainly isn't the trophy that they covet the most, but they look like they're going in the right direction after what was a mixed summer up until this point. A controlled performance, an intense performance, and a decisive goal from who else but Harry Kane. It sees them into a game tomorrow against the winners of Bayern Munich and Fenerbahce, which we'll see next on ITV4, but it has finished Real Madrid 0, Tottenham 1.
So Tottenham's captain fantastic with the touch that proved the difference. Spurs through to the final tomorrow.